Why does it take so long to get a settlement in my injury case? Hey there, I'm Chris Klotz. I want to answer this question for you today, but first let me introduce myself. I'm with the Stevenson Klotz injury law firm here in Pensacola and Mobile, and this video hopefully is going to give you a little bit of insight as to why a settlement can take so long in an injury case. So let's just run through a quick scenario. Let's say I've got somebody that's hired us and they've been injured in an automobile accident. They have gone to the hospital and they have medical bills. Maybe they've gone to physical therapy and they have physical therapy bills. Maybe they have an insurance company that is paid, health insurance company that is paid for some of their medical bills. Maybe you have Medicaid or Medicare who's paid some of your medical bills. What happens is when you actually reach a settlement with an insurance company or a at-fault party is that their lawyer or their insurance adjuster will say, we're going to offer you, I'm just going to pull a number out of the air, they're going to offer you $50,000, and they say, we're going to settle this case for $50,000. Here's where a lot of the work begins that a lot of clients really don't even know happens behind the scenes. So as you've had medical bills, as you've had physical therapy, as you've had chiropractic visits or any other type of help to get you back on your feet, those costs are kept track of. And when they make the offer of the, let's say $50,000 in this particular case, out of that money, frequently you have to pay back the medical expenses that have happened along the way. Sometimes you have to reimburse the insurance company that has paid for your medical expenses along the way. And if Medicare or Medicaid is involved, sometimes you have to pay them back some or all of what they have paid to help you get better. That in Florida is called a right of subrogation. And so when the lawyer finds out how much money is available to distribute to you as the client and then to the medical care providers who are owed some money, the lawyer is going to call the medical care providers and is going to call the Medicaid, Medicare people. Sometimes they'll call your health insurance and say, hey, we only have this much money. Would you be willing to consider doing a reduction of your bills? And quite frequently, medical providers and insurance companies are good about trying to work with the client in order to get their medical bills down, because the more you can get your medical bills down, the more money you take home in your pocket. So every dollar that you can save on negotiating with the medical care providers actually ends up going to the client. So it's really important for the lawyers to try to get those liens reduced and make sure that everything is paid for out of the settlement funds, because that way you have all of those taken care of. The laws have been satisfied that require you to pay those back. And so that particular process of getting all the medical records, all the medical bills, and then negotiating the medical liens down can actually take a long time. And so you may have gotten a call from your lawyer saying, hey, we just settled your case for $50,000, and you might be thinking, oh great, I'm going to get my check tomorrow. Unfortunately, it doesn't really work that way in 90% of the cases. It usually takes sometimes weeks, sometimes it can take a couple of months. I've seen it take up to 5 or 6 months in extreme circumstances where there's a huge amount of medical bills and a huge amount of providers. And so sometimes it takes a while for the settlement to actually come from the insurance company or the defendant to the law firm. Law firm gets all the liens worked out, and then the disbursement happens to the client. So don't get frustrated if it takes a while. We want you to get paid as fast as possible, and we are always working to try to make that process faster. But I did want to explain to you a little bit about why sometimes when you hear your lawyer say, your case is settled for this amount of money, that you're not going to necessarily expect that the next day a check is going to come, because there's still a ton of work to be done before that disbursement happens in order to get you the most money in your pocket, and also make sure that you don't get stuck with any bills that are lingering out there that somebody might come after you for. I'm Chris Klotz. I'm one of the partners here at the Stevenson Klotz Injury Law Firm in Pensacola and Mobile. Hope this has been a little bit helpful for you. If you have any questions about your case, or if you have a case that you would like to talk to us about, the initial consultation is free, and we'd love to talk to you. You can reach us at 850-444-0000. Thanks for watching and tuning in. We'll catch you next time, and remember, we put lives back together.